Hey Toby. Nummy? Looks nummy. Nummy.
How you going, guys? Steve here from Australian 4x4 Adventures, and this video turned out nothing like I planned it was going to. So it's kind of done in two parts. I was hoping to film a whole lot more, but turns out camping with kids is actually really time consuming, so I didn't actually get around to it. So first off is pretty much all the prep work for setting up to go camping. So it's probably about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, I can't remember. 5-10 minutes of basically getting everything ready for camping. So that means all of the stuff that I was taking, all the preparation, all the extra bits and bobs that I probably wouldn't normally take on a camping trip, but I took anyway because camping with kids is fun. No, it wasn't bad. And then the second part is all the footage I had while I was away on the trip. So some of the food we ate, the things we done, camping, all the cool stuff is sort of in the second half of the video. So if you're not interested in how to pack and what's sort of going on to get ready, skip the first half of the video, go to the second part. That's where all the cool stuff happens from there. Other than that, hopefully you enjoy this one. It's a little bit different for me, so don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Enjoy the video, guys. All right, so super quickly, back in the shed at home. So preparation for a trip like this always starts at home. So I am going to say I've never camped with Toby by myself before. Obviously, I'm going to have some friends there with me, so hopefully they can help me out just a little bit. But I'm taking the approach of I'm a fairly seasoned camper. I know what I'm doing. But this camping with Toby's going to be a whole new ball game for me. Not so much for the fact of looking after him, because I do that most days. Obviously, my wife does most of it, but it's all up to me now. So I'm kind of scared. Preparation is going to be key, I reckon. So I've laid everything out at home to try and make sure I don't miss anything. I've got the staples in the car already, in the sense of the cooktops and cleaning, all that sort of stuff stays in the car permanently. So that's always a normal thing for me. Extras that I want to make sure I have for camping. So most of it's here, I think. So first off, obviously, just an extra towel, because it's meant to be really bad weather this weekend. It's not going to be fun. Pillows, obviously the normal. A mat underneath the swag. Some of this stuff is just normal stuff that you always take camping no matter what. But I haven't been camping properly in months now because of the whole pandemic thing. So this is me also just double checking all my gear. Air fryer, because who doesn't go camping without an air fryer these days? Extra frying pans and cups and plates and everything else. I've actually made sure I pack plastic bowls and everything else for Toby. This tub here is going to double as a bit of a bath maybe, so if he does get super dirty, needs a bath, something like that, this tub is going to double as that. He can sit in here, stand in here, I can give him a quick sponge bath, do something like that, and everything's going to be sweet. So I'm dual purposing as much as I can because space is always at a premium. Blower for the fire, little splitter, everything else, that's just normal stuff I take. I'm 50-50 whether I take my chainsaw or not, because I'm going to ask if someone else has got one to save a bit of room for me, but if not, I'll take it anyway. Speaker, lighting. Lighting is always key, plus the cables to charge it as well. I always leave it attached just in case. I reckon a head torch is a must, especially with kids, because you're going to want to keep your hands as free as you can, so head torch is going to be fantastic. And then some static ones as well. These basically stick to the side of the car and you can light everything up for him. I'm hoping he's in bed by dark, but if not, I've got lighting. That's a little battery pack for my awning, so I've got awning on the side here as well, so it's hopefully going to be a fair bit of shelter, and the awning walls for my awning, so that way I can try and have maybe the swag underneath the awning of the car with that, and the gazebo is purely just shelter only, out of the way. See how we go. Or might do it the other way, unsure yet. That's most of it. Obviously, little things to consider would be a chair for child. So obviously Toby's 20 months old, he's running around, he's fairly coherent about what he's doing, and he's sort of saying words, so he's not fully communicating in the sense you can't have a conversation with him, but he knows what most things are. He can say, go sit in your chair, and he'll run over to his chair and probably look at you a bit stupid, but he knows what it is at least. So chair for them. For the next most important thing is going to be changes of clothes, especially in the wet, so I'm going to take a whole bunch of wet weather gear for him, and probably about 5 or 6 changes of clothes. Even though it's only 2 days, I'm going to try and take a heap extra clothes for him overall. Other thing I'm doing, got these the other week from Blacksmith Camping, Blacksmith Camping Supplies. I'm going to set one of these up because they fit in my drawers nicely as the baby bag, so to say. So creams, Panadols, nappies, all that sort of stuff, like baby wipes, everything in here. So whatever I'm doing, take it out. Everything's nice and easy, accessible, so I don't have to go hunting through the car for different things. So that's going to be my go-to for there. Alright, so the other big thing we need to keep in mind is packing stuff. Obviously two aspects of that I'm talking about. One would be just making sure you fit everything, because kids want toys, so you got to try and make room for it. I don't want to have to tow anything, so I've got a lot of stuff to try and fit in here. The other part of what I was talking about with how to pack was obviously the first part was making sure everything fits. Second part was all about making sure that nothing falls on Toby. If, God forsake, we're in an accident or a rollover or something like that, I don't want all this stuff hitting him in the head. It's already going to be dangerous enough as it is. I don't want to add to that. So making sure that packing all the heavy stuff down low, anything that's could be a projectile needs to be strapped down. Things to consider when you've got kids in the car. I don't like cargo barriers, so got to tie it down. I've got these rails on the side there to help me do that as well. Alright, so certain things should get different priorities as well. So stuff like an axe, you're only going to use that once you get to camp, so it doesn't need to go in a prime location. So for me, that fits down the side of the drawers there. Still easy enough to get to, but it's a little bit more awkward than what something else should be. So stuff like lighting, when it's getting dark and everything else, needs to be in a fairly high profile position that's easy to find, easy to get to. Don't have to go rummage around the dark to find your lights. So for me, they always end up right in the back of the drawer here, so I can open it up. There it is straight away. That's all my torches, so handhelds, headlights, and my little floodlights all basically go straight in there. I always chuck the cords in them as well, that way I don't lose them. So this one's just a little handy tip. Obviously it's going to be pretty wet on the way up there, and the last thing I want to do is rock up to camp with a wet swag. It would ruin my entire weekend and Toby's. So this is just a pretty common, if you've ever been camping before with a swag, you should know this, but give you a little hint as well. So wrap your swag up. Obviously you don't want it to get wet. I always wrap up the leading edge, so this is going to face the front of the car because it's going to get the most driving rain sort of getting into it. So pretty much just wrap your swag up. Really not rocket science. Then a little locky strap to hold it together. And of course, the most important thing to pack of all is a George. So I'm thinking about maybe, if you guys want your own George in any size, whether it be full man size George or little mini-me George, 50 bucks delivered to your door. Shoot me a DM on Facebook or Insta, and we'll get you a little George to your door. Alright, on the road. So left home probably about half hour ago now. Toby has eaten his body weight full in cheesels already. The debates have started that you cannot have cheesels for breakfast, but I'm losing that debate. You're winning, ain't you, buddy? So we're going to Ray's first. Going to meet up there with him and Ant, and then start heading in. It's pretty good. I think I'm 10 minutes away from Ray's now. I think that's probably going to be first bum change stop as well. Not my favourite thing to do. You can't. 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 away. Have sugar instead. Parenting for the win. Alright, so first stop of the day, of course, has to be Macca's. What'd you get, Tobes? You got cookies! Don't tell Mum. Whatever you do, don't tell Mum. Alright, so on the big leg now of the trip, so basically left Officer Servo, heading into Mafra, I think we're going to, something like that, I forget. It's like about an hour or so. So, him in the car for this long, haven't really done it before because it's been a lockdown the whole time, never really done any big drives with him. So, I don't know, so for me so far it's Macca's cookies are winning the race on keeping him happy and entertained. He's got a ball, a bit of a car, just some toys. That's just my way of trying to keep him entertained. So, maybe that'll work for you, maybe it won't. About an hour and a half into the trip now, Tobe is losing his bananas just before, so we stopped, changed his bum, and took a bit to calm him down, but we got there. You know, he's having his bottle, he's a bit tired, so hopefully just goes to sleep. I remember that my hedge net has YouTube on it, so I'm playing kids' videos on YouTube. So it's a nice little distraction for him, hopefully. Someone's super tired, doesn't want to sleep in the car. Normally would have been well and truly asleep by now at home. He's had his bottle, he's fed, he had a fresh bum. He's just grumpy. So, it's raining, this is always going to be fun. Toby's still asleep, thank God. Just decided to air down because it's getting a bit bumpy. And typical patrol problem, you hit a little pothole and now his alignment's out. We broke a patrol again! Sorry, I actually really like this patrol driver too, so I feel bad about this one. you know, no, I think there was already something wrong with it, so just something small. We'll fix it, it's all good. It's starting to really come down though, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Alright, so just got to camp. Mr. Ray, as you alright. How long have we been driving for?
10 hours?
Well, I left home at 8 o'clock. What time is it now?
Just past 7.
So, well, we've been there for about maybe an hour. So, we'll say 10 hours been driving. This little champion is exactly that. He's a bloody champion. He was a little bit testing through one part of the day, but he was bloody awesome for the rest of it. He sat there, he's played with his toys, he's eaten heaps of food, done a giant poo. You're awesome, buddy. You are. So we pulled up at camp. Most of what you're going to do when you pull up at camp with a child is chase after the child. So far, Toby's just tried to run over to that camp about 8 times, and I'm halfway through setting up camp, which is just taking ages because I'm trying to get him sorted as well. We've also got dinner running at the same time because it's way past his bedtime, but I'm going to keep him up a little bit later because we're camping, so why not? So that's our first day bush. Let's see how the rest of it goes. Alright, so a little trick. I bought this stuff specifically for Toby. So my little baby table, little tiny chair. The air fryer is coming in massive handy because we've done a whole bunch of meal prep before we came. So that's just quiche wrapped in alfoil, chucked in the air fryer for 5 minutes. Meal done. A couple of chips for him. Can't get much easier. So I managed to cook all that while I was setting up camp. Hey Toby. Nummy? Looks nummy. Nummy. Alright, so the next morning and last night was an absolute success. I don't know how that happened, but it worked out really well. So I got him down to bed by 8 o'clock. There's a little camera adjust. I'm warming up some water for a bit of a bottle for him. So I'm just doing the jet boil. So boil the jet bottle, boil, and then just
Stick it in there, and a couple minutes and she's cooked. Hey mate, you got a bit of snot hanging out of your face. We'll just ignore that for now. He's got some snot hanging out of his face. We'll get that soon. So put him to bed by 8:30 last night, which is about 2 hours after his normal bedtime. Cried for like 5 seconds, drank his bottle, and then he was just out, like completely out. I got a photo, so here's the photo. He's just sleeping across the swag. I'm thinking, oh no, I'm gonna have to move him when I get in there, and I was a little bit worried about that. But when I got in there, probably I think I went to bed about 11:45. No, sorry, 10:45. So a couple of hours after him. Just got in there, pushed him across. Good as gold, didn't care. And he slept through till about 5:30, which is normal for him. She's bloody fantastic. So that little fear I had of not knowing what to do with him for bed wasn't really an issue at all at the end of the day. This morning got up, made some brekkie, just I think we done Vegemite toast and a fruit roll. Loved it. Sat at his table, same thing, got a photo of it. I didn't film it because I was trying to focus on him and keep some continuity going of getting him fed. But I did get a couple of photos, so I'll chuck them up at the same time. Ever since then, we've just been running around camp, running amok. He's loving it. He's loving just being outside. He's an outdoor kid, granted. Eating so much food today. All about the food, aren't you, buddy? And then, yeah. So I think tonight we've got a big cook up. So probably show you what George is cooking over there. So far, the little tacker is loving it. Hey mate, loving it? Loving it? Yeah. Yeah. Alright. I'm just going to enjoy the day. Alright, so end of day 2 now. So it's around at 6 o'clock, Toby's having his dinner again. This little table, tell you what, has been one of the best things I reckon I bought. So it's just a little tiny table that extends up to a full height table. I'm just leaving it down low. Little chair for him to sit at, and he feels like he's an adult and he's having dinner. I'm trying to make it as normal as possible, so the same as what we do at home. Doing here. So he's having his quiche and chips again tonight. Kid loves it. Hey mate. Nummy? Nummy nums.
Yeah.